That's right, it's been a whole week of video game shenanigans since the last bulletin, and boy howdy do we have so much to catch up on. This week's bulletin promises puns, adventure, planetside, space operas, rocket cars, and more. If you are at all interested in any of those things and more, then stick around for this week's Thunder Cougar Falcon Bulletin. Our planetside news first, of course, and our Friday night ops, where we started out on Indar, and shortly after, a capture alert began, and the race was on. We ran with 2 squads for the majority of the night, with Pixel running the Bravo team and Mighty taking care of the Alpha squad, or Legion. Shortly before the alert started, Indar crashed and hilariously booted everyone out of the game so that the servers could turn on the double XP again. Fortunately, we were all able to log straight back in. Vanu started our alert with a territorial advantage, but this ultimately led to us being attacked on both fronts by capable TR and NC forces, so he lost a fair bit of ground. We eventually recovered, but not enough to contend the alert. Our early shenanigans involved using a cloaked Sunderer to get around the cliffs at Broken Arch Road to flank the NC armour in the road there, before moving our way over to the TR front, where we ended up in a super long battle defending Rashnu Biolab against an organised and numerically superior TR force. We managed to make do with some awesome assorted backcaps against the TR forces that we were fighting against, and this led to a back and forth battle keeping the TR out of the Biolab, where we eventually deployed up to help secure a capture at NS Material Storage. This cut off the TR connections to the Biolab and secured the lane up to Howling Pass. After this ended, we redeployed down to resecure Toric Tech Plant and the surrounding territories from the NC, and after this we moved up to fight at the Palisade for a little bit against the TR, before wrapping up the alert with a fight at Rashnu Tower, breaking a point hold against a TR force that was well organised. For our Sunday night ops, we tried something a bit different. We had a small sign-ups for a squad on the forums to put together the Alpha squad for the night, with Bugs going to run a more support and casual squad alongside for the Bravo team. The night ran for the duration of a Hossin alert, to great enjoyment from all involved. We opened up by joining in a push south from the Zots Biolab to the Ziggurat, where we spearheaded the assault down the lane to buy time for our allies to push up, after which we moved over to the TR front, where we had a lengthy engagement between the Offal Pit and Nalm Ravine overpass, complete with many awful puns as well as an amazing cap of the base, where Alpha was able to hold the point against the TR, while Bravo was distracting them at the main gates on the road. Eventually, after some backcabbing and stealth Sunderer shenanigans, we succeeded in capturing the base and continued on with our adventures. Eventually, an opportunity to capture Gurney Dam arose, and the Alpha squad managed an amazing point hold alongside some allied VS forces that was one of the most nail-biting holds in a long time, after which we all crashed to desktop while spawning in the galaxy and lost all of our shadowplay. Big thanks for our Sunday ops to everyone for their willingness to try out the new organisational style, and to Bugs for looking after the Bravo squad. Thanks to everyone for another fine week in Planetside. Moving on to other games for the week, Rocket League continues to be a major contender, with matches of the high-octane F1 soccer simulator occurring on a nightly basis. Rocket League continues to be available on Steam for $20 dues, and is easily a great time for all involved. Continuing on the rampage of other games out there, Wednesday night was our first ever Chivalry night, in which we donned assorted armours and went out to kill one another with swords and such. We had a massive turnout over the course of the evening, and everyone had a great time with medieval-themed violence, up to and including random sword fights, duels, firebombing, drunken brawling, and trying to figure out the difference between pheasants and peasants, and which of the two is more revolting. Bugs managed to walk away with one of the plays of the night, being the last man standing on his team and still managing to take out 3 of the opponents while surrounded on all sides. Not to be outplayed by this, Eben Lilly soon did the same thing to the other team without breaking a sweat. We were also able to witness a fantastic duel between Ballad of Pudding Quest and Nerve, who was rudely and briefly interrupted by Neo before he was more or less shut down instantly. A highlight reel of our Night of Nights is available on the channel here, as well for anyone who feels like they may have missed out. Homeworld's Remastered Edition was recently on sale and also managed to catch the attention of a few of our members, with Burnt, Mighty, Nojun and Ballad all taking part in what they thought would be a walk-in-the-park AI match, which halfway through turned into a somewhat tense fight for survival in space when all the resources on the map were used up and the AI rocked up with some very heavy capital ships. The team was able to salvage the situation once we realised we can basically use hyperspace jumps to warp our heaviest ships in on top of the enemy flagships for maximum assassination style points. This concludes the bulletin for this week. If you have anything noteworthy happen within the reach of your senses over the next week, you should definitely tell Mighty about it in painfully explicit detail and see if he puts it in next week's bulletin. Until then, be excellent to each other.